This is OS on the BBC World Service. The BBC's Kerry Allen has come to talk to us about somebody who's just joined Twitter. Kerry, who is it and why is this important?
Yes, it's Cui Tiankai, who is the Chinese ambassador to the US. And, I mean, he's been a big figure in recent years, since 2013 when he took the post, because, and increasingly in the last couple of years with the escalation of the Chinese-US trade war, because there's been very little that's been coming out from the Communist Party about their opinions in terms of, how things are going, the negotiations, etc. So he's the person who's there in the US. He's the person that often speaks for China, and it is quite unusual that he's got a Twitter account, because Chinese officials don't normally have social media accounts. In Weibo, on Sina Weibo, which is the platform that people would use instead of Facebook or Twitter. I mean, here you kind of, you take it for granted. You've got officials, politicians, they're always issuing statements, but in China that's not the case whatsoever.
So he's trying to put out the Chinese message to an American audience, presumably?
To a world audience. I mean, Chinese media have been noting, even though he's joined Twitter, there are lots of reports in Chinese media today saying he's joined Twitter, which is blocked by the Chinese government. So people are kind of saying, what is Twitter? But they're also noting that it's a good opportunity for him to combat fake news against China and to put out statements by the government. He's a person that can get the messages out as an individual that China wants to get across to the world.
Well, thanks very much for telling us about him. And if you find Kerry Allen's Twitter feed online, you'll see that she's mentioned his account. If you want to follow him and see the messages that he's putting it out, you can find that feed there, and we'll keep an interested eye on it. Kerry, thanks very much indeed for telling us that story.